Alright friends, step 2 is after we have mom and dad's alleles or genotypes filled out, we are going to do the Punnett squares to see what the offspring are. You cannot do the offspring until you create a Punnett square. We're not just guessing, we have to see the probable outcomes and we have to decide, okay? Now, what we're going to do is, as it recommended, I took a picture with my cell phone. So I am going to be working off that picture so I don't have to keep bouncing back and forth between slides. So we are going to go to our Punnett square as soon as Miss Humphries turns her flip on. All right, so we are going to start on our Punnett square. Now you can type in these boxes goodness. You can type right in these boxes. So we're on number of eyes, and in my picture, mom has a capital E and a lowercase e. So I'm going to write, the one below that, capital E and a lowercase e. Nothing goes in this box. Nothing goes in this box. Now, careful if you're doing this online that you see how that just changed my E. Be careful if you're doing this online that it still shows. Now, because you could have chosen either capital E, or capital E lowercase e. Here's the thing, they are both dominant. So it really doesn't matter which combination you put. Dad can be capital E, mom can be capital E, mom and dad can both be heterozygous, whatever combination. So because there are so many combinations, I'm not going to do every single Punnett square. I'm just going to walk through a few of them using the alleles I had and kind of giving away some this needs to be correct on here. So this is one of the ones that needs to be correct on here. Both mom and dad are dominant. So we would have capital E, capital E, capital E, capital E, capital E, lowercase e, and capital E, lowercase e. All of these are dominant. So your offspring has to have 3 eyes. It is not possible for your offspring to have only 2 eyes. They are all capital letters. All right, so looking at the position of eyes, again, mom was dominant, so you could have put homozygous dominant or heterozygous. I chose heterozygous because I like to mix up my Punnett squares. And dad was homozygous, so he has to be lowercase p, lowercase p. So see, watch out for that because it's going to change it. Careful. I don't know why it does that. Okay, so we're going to complete our Punnett square. So we have capital P, capital P, lowercase, lowercase, and lowercase. So here you have a 50-50% chance, 50-50 shot. Now, if you made this a homozygous dominant, it would have to be you would end up with 100% heterozygous, and the eyes would have to be on the face. So again, it depends on which you made it, on which allele you put. All right, let's do one more. Fingers. The mother did not have fingers, so she was recessive, so careful again with these letters. Lowercase. And dad did have fingers, so I chose dominant. So I know from my warm-ups, from Ms. Humphries telling me all the time, that a homozygous dominant crossed with a homozygous recessive will equal 100% heterozygous. Excuse me. Little f. Now, this would mean that your child would have to have fingers. But you could have chosen to have a heterozygous dominant. So we have little f, and now little f. So now we have a 50% chance of not having fingers. All right, let's do one more just to be sure. That's about half. I feel good about that. All right, arm color. So mom was striped, which is recessive, so she has to be lowercase a, and again, be careful with these silly autocorrects. They're so goofy. And dad was yellow, so he could have been, again, homozygous dominant, which would result in 100% heterozygous, meaning all of the offspring would have to have yellow arms, just like we saw up here in fingers, or exactly like we saw in fingers, we have a heterozygous crossed with a homozygous. So we would have capital A, or big A, little a, little a, little a. Ooh, and that's silly autocorrect. Little a, big, big, Miss Humphreys, stop. Big A, and little a. Now I have a 50% chance, because there are 2 boxes filled, I have a 50% chance of having striped arms and a 50% chance of having yellow arms. All right, so what you're going to do is once your Punnet squares are completed, once you have all 9 Punnet squares done, you are going to either, you can Google the roll the dice, or you can choose the one that has, or really honestly, just choose whatever one you want. Just have fun with it. Choose whatever one you want. But highlight, circle, star, do something to tell me which one you chose back here. Now, again, life hack, take a picture of this page when you're done with it. Take a picture of all 9 of these when you're done with it. With the stars, like you're going to have circled the ones that you want. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to say I want this one. I mean, they're all that one. And let's put, just for funsies, let's do that one. All right, so I have highlighted and chosen which alleles I want for my children. I'm going to take that picture. Again, just life hack, so you don't have to go back and forth. And now we are going to fill out the baby's genotypes and phenotypes. So, using the picture we just took, the chart, I chose capital E, capital E. That means capital E is dominant. My child now has, my baby monster has 3 eyes. I chose capital P, capital P, lowercase p from my Punnet square. And I know that a capital is dominant and the eyes on the face are dominant. So my offspring has eyes on their face. Again, from my Punnet square, I know I chose little f, and I know that's recessive because I see that here. So my offspring does not have fingers on their hands. From my Punnet square, I see arm color. I chose capital A, lowercase a. It has a capital. I see that yellow is dominant, so my offspring will have yellow arms. You will complete that for the remaining geno and phenotypes.